YouTube, what's going on? It's Kyle again from ePoolSupply. Today we are back with a little bit of a troubleshooting video for you guys. I've got three of Pentair's suction side pool cleaners here in front of me. I've got the Pentair Warrior, I've got the Pentair Rebel, and I've got the Pentair Little Rebel. So I'm going to kind of run through some troubleshooting tips for you guys so that you guys can help get these things installed and get them working properly. So let's dive in, and I'll kind of discuss some differences and purposes between all the cleaners, and then I'll get into some of the troubleshooting tips for you. So the Pentair Warrior, as you guys can see here, is literally the exact same cleaner as the Pentair Rebel. So they make two different versions of the same cleaner for two reasons. So you've got the Pentair Rebel is going to be your trade version. So if you're looking for a 3-year warranty on the cleaner, you got to pick it up from a brick and mortar store. This can't be bought online. You buy this online, that warranty goes out the window. So that's the purpose of the Rebel. You'll also see that it does have a little bit of a different style tire to it, and the actual wheel hubs themselves look a little different comparatively to the Warrior. Now, the Warrior itself can be bought and sold online, comes with a 2-year warranty if it's professionally installed. Again, internally, these cleaners are going to be exactly the same. The biggest thing comes down to where did you buy it and were you looking for a warranty or a rebate on the cleaner. So obviously with the tires looking a little different, this doesn't have as beefy of a tread as this. So I do tend to push people towards the Rebel if they're looking for something that can actually do better with a pebble environment compared to a plaster environment. If you do have a plaster environment, the Warrior's great, as it does have just kind of like a smaller, smoother tread on the tires. So it doesn't require as much grip and grit through the plaster or through the pebble. So this is always an option if you're dealing with a plaster style pool. And then of course you always have your little guy over here, which is the Little Rebel. Again, going to be a littler version of the actual Rebel. This is meant for above ground pools. So the suction power required to operate this compared to these two is going to be totally different. Do not suggest that you actually throw this into an in-ground pool. It's got a tiny orifice on the bottom for debris, so it's not necessarily meant to pick up all the dirt and debris that we're used to out here for an in-ground pool comparatively to an above-ground pool. So it's really cool that they made a smaller version. This thing works great for above-ground pools. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's a little bit more of a lifesaver on your vinyl, so you don't have that flapper or suction actually rotating on the ground. And for those of you guys that do have suction and not pressure cleaners, obviously this is going to be down on the ground to get all the debris. It's not going to be floating on the top surface of the water. So really, really cool. But the troubleshooting tips that I'll go over will work for all three of these units. We do have them available as full units, which I'll link down below so you guys can see that. They do come complete with a whole set of hoses and all your accessory packages, your leader hose, your hose flow, all those good things if you're going to buy a full complete cleaner. Well, if you already have one of these and you're just looking to replace the actual cleaner head, we do offer those as well in all of these versions. So you can buy a Warrior head only, you can buy a Rebel head only, or you can buy a Little Rebel head only. The one downfall, which is some of the troubleshooting tips I want to go over, is it is not going to operate the same as your current cleaner. So for those of you guys that aren't too familiar with the suction cleaners, obviously as you're diverting power away from your skimmer or your main drain and dedicating it to the actual skimmer, depending on how you have the hookup, there is a 3-way valve at your equipment that will actually give you more suction to the cleaner or less suction to the cleaner. So everybody's pool equipment is going to be a little bit different, so I can't necessarily throw something up and show you guys that valve. But what you're looking for is that 3-way valve that will allow suction to go to the cleaner or take it away. So most of the time you're going to want to turn your pump up to a full speed, see if you can actually get the cleaner to move, and then from there adjust that 3-way valve and watch it in the pool to try to see what happens. Is it slowing down? Is it going faster? And then obviously from there you're going to run into the user manual, and you're going to want to try to fine tune that 3-way to get this thing to operate at the right rotations per minute. If you've got too much suction going to these things, they can get like glued to the ground. So that's what you run into, is where you won't see these things moving at all, is you may have too much suction. Now it goes down to the opposite, whereas if you don't see them move, you could have too little suction. So you always want to try to play with that valve at your equipment, making sure that that pump is at an optimal speed to actually operate the cleaner. So if you have a variable speed, running it at a much lower speed is not going to get the cleaner to operate at all. So you want to bump that thing up and then start the fine-tune processing. So then that way you know what speeds you have to run it at in order to get this thing to work. So step one, troubleshooting, check those valves, try to make sure that this thing is getting enough suction. If you're worried that you have too little or too much and it's not moving, the best thing you could do is walk over, grab the hose, kind of pull the thing up. And as you start pulling it up, you'll start to notice whether or not the wheels start to turn. So if they start to turn, then it may be that you have too much suction on it, or that you don't have enough. So if the cleaner will actually start to free rotate in the water without the pressure of being on the ground, then you know that you do need to fine tune that suction at your equipment to get this thing to operate correctly. So that's troubleshooting tip number one. Number two is, please note, these are brand new units. So when you're buying this and you're going to just drop it in your pool, you have to understand that from the 2 years to 5 years to 6 years that you've had your current cleaner in, it is worn down. It's worn through. Everything's actually operated. This is fresh off the factory line. So what you're going to run into is, even though you may adjust that suction just a little bit more, it may need to go up exponentially in order to actually get this thing broken in. It can typically take about a week of operating into your pool before these things start to break in and become fluid and start to actually operate like your previous cleaner would have. So that's another big thing to pay attention to, is that these are brand new head units. So if you do get them, that's normally problem number one, is that you need to change that pressure at the valve and get more suction to the cleaner. So then that way everything can get broken in and operate correctly. So one big issue that we've ran into, if you've had the pleasure of buying these Rebel heads or these Warrior heads, is we've had issues with the wheels. So there's been issues at the factory where maybe these wheels weren't tightened, or sometimes during shipping to you guys, these get jostled around a little bit, so that these actual Allen wrench screws on the side aren't completely tightened down. So you'll find out after running it for a couple days, the wheel might fall off. So if that's the case, it's a simple, get the screw out, tighten it back down, and get the thing back into your pool so that it can start operating again. It's just sometimes at the factory, it does have those little defects. So it's not broken, it's not destroyed. You just may need to retighten it and get everything back up and perfect, so that way when you're actually running the system, it can operate correctly. So there is one other thing to check. It doesn't normally come down to the Little Rebel. The Little Rebel, because it operates on such low suction, you don't normally have that issue with the Little Rebel. This is pretty much just a plug and play into your above ground pool. It's pretty simple. But for these guys, there is a right drive kit that's in here. So I'll actually have Sam put it up on here. So she'll just have a picture up here for you guys so you know what the right drive kit looks like. What you're going to end up wanting to do is you're going to actually pull off the right tire of the cleaner. So what you want to do is, if you're going to hold the handle and you're looking at it, you're going to be looking at it from, let's make sure it's part of the boofing so you guys can see it. So the right drive kit, if you have the handle side on the Rebel, is going to be on your left-hand side. So what you're looking for is pull the buckle towards you. When the buckle's facing towards you, that's your right side. This is going to be your left side. So there's a right drive kit in here that actually runs a cam that actually helps the thing rotate. So you run into issues where occasionally that cam will jostle loose in shipping or from the manufacturer to us. You have to understand these are going to come from one side of the nation to us. So sometimes things do jostle loose. So if that's the case, what you're going to end up doing is just need to reset that. So if you actually pull the right wheel off, you'll see the right drive kit tucked down in here. You're just going to want to make sure everything's sit down and properly installed. Tighten that wheel back on, and you should be able to throw it back in your pool. So that on there. So the final tip that I would actually show it to you guys is, if the cleaner's actually operating when you're pulling it out of the water, there has to be an issue with the suction. So if it comes from the line, you may have a clog. So you guys also want to go down the line and make sure that there's a clog. But again, it should take a full week for this thing to work. And for those of you guys that believe that these are actually going to completely climb your wall, they don't. So I do want to tell you that it is very dangerous to have these things completely climb your wall. If this thing can make it up a 90-degree wall and all the way to the pool surface, and it starts sucking air, you run into all kinds of problems at your equipment. You can cavitate a pump, you can blow up a filter. There's all kinds of things that could go wrong if you start sucking in air from the cleaner. So these are not meant to climb the walls. They will go up the walls a certain way, and then they're going to fall off and go back down to the surface and start buzzing around the pool. So that's what these special knobs are for on the tires. You can see every single one, except even the little Rebel has it. So, and for whatever case, if this gets close, as it rotates, that'll help it lift itself off of obstacles on the ground, but it also helps it pull itself off the wall. So if it starts to go up the wall and your suction's up high enough and that knob on the tire rotates, it should push it off the wall enough, that it actually drops down, falls, and continues somewhere else in the pool. You do not want these things to completely climb the wall. It can cause all kinds of damage to your equipment. So please get out. It's still necessary, even with a suction side pool cleaner, to brush your pool walls. I personally do it once a week. You could do it as often as you want, but it is very, very, very smart to just go out and brush them so that way this thing can operate and clean everything on the bottom of the floor and you don't run into problems with it. So I just want to give you guys some cool troubleshooting tips on these. Again, if you guys have any questions, please reach out to our support team. We are very knowledgeable when it comes to all of these cleaners and to help you guys get everything situated and get everything fixed. We can get you parts that you may be missing and go down that route. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Please make sure to subscribe. We'll have a ton of videos coming your way. And until then, I'm Kyle from ePoolSupply. We'll see you next time.